Hi, I'm Sigma Ambassador Heather Larkin, and if it's one thing I can tell you, it's I love macro photography. And so I have a dedicated macro lens. It's the Sigma 105 millimeter, but I have a lot of people say to me that what's the difference between a macro lens and just a regular lens using extension tubes? So I thought I would compare the two, and let's take a look at the results and how to use extension tubes. So I bought the extension tubes for Sony, and they are 10 and 16 millimeters. So let's get these out. I'm going to put them on the back of my 24 to 70. You can see I haven't even gotten them out of the thing yet, but here they are. The body cap's over there. And all you do, I got the versions that allow for autofocus so that we can compare, but a lot of people don't use them for macro with autofocus enabled. So it's totally up to you. There we go. They go in between the camera and the lens. Full disclaimer, I already have a dedicated macro lens that I know how to use and really adore. So the extension tubes are going to be already my second choice. But let's see how they compare. I'm just going to put a headband in our little holder here so that we can photograph it up close and see how it looks. There we go. And it'll be pretty easy to see, I think. Give us a lot of detail. So let's look at the macro first. At 1-to-1 ratio, that's the whole point of this, right? It's 1-to-1 ratio. I'm going to put this on 5.0, be at 1/400, and my ISO is at 5000 because it's kind of dark in here. So right away, at 1-to-1 ratio, I am getting really pretty close. About there's where we end. Gives us a nice close-up view of the stars without a whole bunch of extraneous stuff in the picture, and allows us to get pretty close. Now let's see how extension tubes compare. So the whole idea between extension tubes is that they go between the lens and the camera and give you less working distance, which means that you have more magnification. Sounds pretty simple, but let's see how it works in practice. I'm interested to find out myself. Let's see. Okay. At 70, I feel like I'm getting pretty decent. Let's see how they compare. That's definitely not 1-to-1 ratio at all. Let's see. That's as far as I can go on that. Let's see if I can get. Ooh. Oh, I just ran into the front of the thing. That's that's a problem. Okay, so it doesn't focus any closer than here, and that is not 1-to-1 ratio. So right away, it doesn't compare to a macro lens in terms of magnification, although that could be different depending on which lens you put it in front of. Let's see how the 24 side changes anything. Oh. Yeah. Let's try that again. Okay, so it doesn't focus with it doesn't focus on 24 at all. I have to be touching the thing in order to even come close to focusing, and it doesn't at all. So let's go to 35. Let's see if that changes anything. Okay, there it is. Let's compare that to our macro lens. Still not 1-to-1. Not at all. It's not really even close to the magnification that I would like, unfortunately. And you can see that I was touching the thing. So that doesn't really work in terms of, things that might be afraid of your lens and run away like bugs. So that is also a point in the macro lens's favor. Now at 70, I feel like I don't have to be quite as on top of it, but let's see where it focuses. Right here. And just looking at that, I can tell you that is still not 1-to-1 ratio. It's not as magnified as I'd like it to be. So right now, points for the macro lens include usability, not having to be right on top of your subject and scared away. And then also the magnification ratio is still greater in a macro lens. Also, the extension tubes go behind a lens you already own, yes, but that means that you're tying up that lens for something else. And if you have a video running and you cannot use that lens, then you're just out of luck. So I think another point in favor of the macro lens being a dedicated macro lens is that I don't have to lose infinity focus. I cannot focus on across the room with this. It doesn't focus. And so I'd have to just take these off, put the lens back on, take a picture of whatever it is that I want over there, put these back on. And I don't know about you, but that just increases the chance that I'm going to drop something because I'm really good at throwing things on the ground. So I don't think I want to deal with that. Another point to macro lenses. So I think that the tests are pretty definitive, and I thought this was going to be a whole lot longer of a video, but honestly, I am pretty much decided. I'll stick with my macro lens. Thanks. Don't have to worry about throwing things on the ground or anything like that. These guys are going back. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought.